Welcome to The Art of Spirit, a collective reading. Today we are utilizing the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck by Matt Hughes. The first card that we've pulled here today is the Emperor card. He was very strong when he came out. He flew right out of the deck just after I shuffled, and he is here with a purpose. He is representative of the Divine Masculine, the Father. He is authority, he is structure, he is stability. He provides those things as well. And he can be representative of a Divine Masculine in your life. It can be a father figure, it can be a boss. But what it likely is for this collective is a perspective partner. And the reason that I say perspective partner is because he is coming in hot with the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is an offering, likely of love, and night energy can be like the juxtaposition between the Emperor and a knight. It's like a king and a knight. Now knights are, and forgive me because I don't know much about positions outside of tarot, like as far as their actual jobs. However, it is clear that the Emperor stands much higher than a simple knight, and not that he would be so lowly. Knights are a prestigious honor. However, by comparison, it is rather lowly. So for the Emperor to be coming in with the Knight of Cups leads me to believe that this is a masculine who is just finding himself in his divine masculinity. He's just coming into his own, just coming into his power. He may be on the precipice of it, but he is just coming into his power, and in coming into his power, he is bringing you an offer of love. I do encourage you all to look into divine feminine and divine masculine energies, to research them. We all have a mix of both within ourselves, or a balance rather of both within ourselves, but each individual will resonate more with one or the other. And it doesn't have to be related to your biological sex or your identified gender, but it can be. It doesn't always. So I do encourage you to look into that, and so you can learn more about yourself and how you identify, as well as with divine feminine and divine masculines, we have counterparts. And so in addition to having a balance within us, we have an external counterpart out in the world in the form of soulmates and twin flames. And I do encourage you to look into, if you're not already aware of them, soulmates and twin flames, because it seems that the last reading and this reading has a theme going so far about that. And so briefly, I'll let you know that soulmates are soul connections where you've likely had past lives with them, but you don't necessarily have had to, and you share similar frequencies where you're drawn to each other in love. And it doesn't have to be a romantic love. It can be a platonic love, a platonic relationship where it is a friend. It can be a parent, it can be a sibling, it can be another family member, it can be a teacher, a boss, somebody that you have a deep connection with that is platonic, can be a soulmate, or somebody in a relationship with you can also be a soulmate. I believe we have multiple soulmates and only one twin flame. Now, a twin flame is different in that you have similar frequencies to a soulmate, but you have the same frequency to a twin flame. And we don't all incarnate here in this lifetime with having a twin flame, like with our twin flame also incarnating in this lifetime. If you do, it is likely you will come across your twin flame, and if your twin flame didn't incarnate in this lifetime, they usually remain in the spiritual realms, providing assistance and guidance, like another spirit guide. Not your only spirit guide, but another one of your spirit guides. And if that is the case, then you'll likely connect with a soulmate in a romantic sense in this life. So yeah, basically, the message that I'm getting here today is not just a soulmate. This is a twin flame. This divine masculine is your counterpart, and I'm speaking to divine feminines because that's who I'm being led to speak with. That's who Spirit is telling me to address. So the Emperor is coming in with the Knight of Cups with an offering. This divine masculine is coming into himself, and in the process of coming into himself, he is coming to provide an offer to you, and that offer could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be something tangible. It could literally just be energetically. It could be something in spirit, but Spirit is telling me that he's already been paving the way in his spirit to prepare himself to come and provide this to you. I'm going to move on before I get stuck on it. The next card that was pulled was the Well. Now, the Well is in this deck, the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck by Matt Hughes. The Well is a major arcana card. I believe it is not a typical major arcana card. In this deck, there are all the normal major arcana cards, and I believe there are 2 additional cards that don't normally exist in traditional decks, and one of those 2 would be the Well. The Well it's like the birthplace of creation. It is. Let me read from the book. I typically don't, but just because many of you may be unfamiliar with it as a major arcana energy, I would like to read from. So it is the birthplace of ideas, inspirations, and transformation. All things are birthed from this creatrix, and knowledge flows freely to those who seek it. It's associated with nurturing, opportunity, nature, and creativity. Now, the Well is the place that you found yourself in here and now, whenever that is for you, or wherever that is for you. As you are listening to this message, you found yourself at this place. And what I'm envisioning for you is that you're literally at the Well, but how to translate that into a more worldly perspective or understanding is that wherever you find yourself in right now, you're basically like in a studio, in an art studio, and it doesn't have to be like an art, painting and sculpture, but where you're creating things. All places, all things that are created are usually created, at least to start, are started in a studio. And if I could describe anything, it would be that. It would be that you are in this place where all the materials are at your disposal, and you have all the energy lined up for yourself to create something, a new chapter. I believe that this collective is in a place where you are turning a new page. You are finding yourself at a new level. Like, it's not just a new chapter, you're leveling up, and though things have felt stagnant for some time, even some years, things are about to start being shaken up, and not in a unsettling way, but in a way where it seems that all the unsettling has come to pass, and the energy is perfect. So it's almost like you're in the studio and you're in the zone, and whatever your medium is, whether it's, metaphorically speaking, whatever your medium is, medium being like, canvas, drawing, sculpture, photography, printmaking, whatever it is, whatever you're creating is primed and ready, and you're in the mood, you're in the zone. Now, the next card to be pulled here is the High Priestess card. The High Priestess card is another major arcana card. She is a divine feminine card. However, she differs from the Empress, which is also a divine feminine card. The Empress is more motherly, more creation, whereas the High Priestess is it's the more subconscious aspect of the divine feminine. She is wisdom, she is mystery, she's also serenity. She provides us wisdom and enlightenment. She kind of guides us through the unconscious and helps us to look inward and listen to our intuition and our feelings. But she is the feminine spirit as well. She can be showing up, since The High Priestess is showing up here since we've established that we are speaking to the Divine Feminine Collective. She is showing up here to indicate that you are reaching a new level on your own personal spiritual journey. You are likely honing in on some spiritual gifts, anywhere from clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. And if you don't identify with any of those spiritual abilities or other spiritual abilities, then you're likely turning up a new page where you're researching these things, or you're being drawn to these things, where you can identify what skill you do have. And if you have already identified those skills and abilities for yourself, you are leveling up for certain. So this isn't just divine feminine energy in the physical. This is divine feminine energy, mystical, magical, ethereal energy in the spiritual realm, and how that plays into your physical experience as well, creating new things. So that's really exciting, and I'd love to hear about it in the comments if you're interested in sharing. If you yourself have any type of spiritual or psychic abilities, or if you're interested in learning about them and honing them, honing in that skill. So I suspect that many of you resonate with that. Also, the next card that's been pulled is the Six of Cups. So there really is a theme going here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not the Six of Cups. I apologize. It's the Two of Cups. So there is really a theme here where these two counterparts, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, likely a twin flame situation, are coming into union. The Two of Cups it's harmony, it's attraction, it's two coming together as one in love. And so I imagine that the Emperor and the High Priestess, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, are coming into union soon, especially considering that the last reading from last week had a section, I believe, where we discussed this. So it seems this collective is on that journey, at the start of that journey. The next few cards that were pulled flew out of the deck together, and it was 3 cards in one. And I'll let you know which 3 cards they were, and then usually when cards fly out in groups, they tend to be a message in and of itself, so like a reading in a reading almost. At least for me, that's how I read. And so the cards that were pulled were the Five of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Devil. Now, those 3 cards can, if you know tarot, if you're familiar with them, those 3 cards can be a little daunting. They can be a little scary. Not scary because there's really nothing to be afraid of, but when there's a lot of like love and light energy when you're pulling these previously in the reading, and these cards are pulled with a little bit of lower energy, it can be daunting. So the Five of Cups is really like a despair, and the Seven of Swords is usually a betrayal, a deception, and the Devil, I perceive the Devil as an illusion. So the message that I'm getting here is very clear for the collective. It can resonate for you each differently, but the overall theme is that there's been a betrayal. You've been deceived in some way, and it has spiraled you into this sense of despair, almost like a depression. It may not have become a full-blown depression, but you may find yourself teetering on it due to this betrayal. I suspect that it has something to do with the divine masculine in your life, but it might not be. It could be a friend, it could be a family member. The Devil card is here to tell you that it's just your perception of the situation, and I don't mean to belittle your feelings, I don't mean to be dismissive of them, and I don't mean to dismiss your rightness of the situation. However, your perception is just your perception standing in your place and seeing what you can see. There's so much more to it, and so your despair over what you're perceiving as a betrayal may not be a true betrayal. That's not to say that you have to forgive or you have to move on, but it's definitely a suggestion to do so. You don't have to let anybody back into your life that you don't want to let back into your life. But Spirit's guidance is that the first step that they're calling you to do is just to turn your head and look at it from a different light and allow yourself to move on. Again, you don't have to let anybody back in. You don't have to forgive anybody. Those things, forgiveness is more beneficial for you anyway, but you don't have to. If you can just look at it slightly different, because in looking at it different, first of all, you're acknowledging, that this is a creation in your own mind, in your own perception. But also you're taking power away from this negative situation, this negative scenario that you've found yourself in. And instead of, being in that place of despair, teetering on depression, if not, on the full brink of it, you're giving yourself a fighting chance to move into a lighter vibration, a higher vibration, a lighter energy. And everything that we spoke about before this section of the reading about, the well, like the birthplace of creation, this new chapter, this offering of love coming in, all these beautiful things that are happening can only happen when you vibrate in a place to allow those things to happen. You have to vibrate high enough to let those things in. And if you are in this energy of despair, of betrayal, of deception, you're holding yourself back from it. And I'm not saying that it won't come, because it will, but you're gonna add a lot of resistance to the situation, and it'll come slower, and it'll come in a more frustrating way than it otherwise would have. So that is the little section there. If it resonates, you can comment below. However, I'd rather you focus more on what is resonating in positively than something like that. And the last card that was pulled here to tie up this theme here of divine union is the Six of Cups. That's why I slipped up and said Six of Cups when I meant Two of Cups earlier. The Six of Cups was pulled last. The Six of Cups, I think, was pulled also as well as the Emperor. They were both pulled in the last reading. But the Six of Cups is my reunion card. And so I'm taking this as another confirmation that you are reuniting with your divine counterpart, and that it is coming soon, because this energy is coming in hot. And so, yeah, I'm excited for you. I hope to hear from you in the comments. If you are interested in subscribing to the channel for future readings, please do so. Like and comment to help support, and I look forward to this journey that we're on together. This is the Art of Spirit, and this has been our third collective reading, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.